Hello, welcome to everybody. I hope that you can hear me. If anybody can't hear me, you just write in the chat or in the question box. We have opened our microphone now. I'm Roberta speaking, and there is Rico Trentini with me.
Hello to everybody.
So in this moment, your voices are muted. So in order not to create confusion and rumors in the background, so we will now start presenting you the ETC, our new terminal. And in the end of the presentation, which will be carried out by Rico and I, we will give you some space for your questions that you can write in the questions box, so that we will reply to you both voice, and also we will write down the replies in the answer box. Okay, I hope that you can hear me clearly. So, ETC stands for Electronic Time Card, and it's a new product that will be, in practice, will be launched during this month. We have already set up, prepared the first lot for anybody of our partners, any of our partners who would like to test it. The idea of this device comes from the fact that we have made a market research, and still a lot of small end users use the traditional paper time clocks. So we have thought to use the same hardware of the super trucks and let's say develop a software on it which will be suitable for this new purpose terminal. We will see now all the features of this standalone terminal. Enrico will explain you perfectly how it works and what you can do, what the end user can do with it. We have required, now we are in the process of patenting this terminal, because nowadays, from market research that we've done in Italy and in most of the European countries, there is not such a product at the moment proposed by other competitors. A product which has a software inside, so it's a standalone terminal with no Ethernet connection. Let's go on with our slides. I hope that you can see the screen well. Okay. Now, I would like to explain you that in Italy we have a stringent legislation about privacy on the employees, about the employees' transactions for time and attendance. So, in practice, the employers are responsible to protect privacy of the employees' sensible data that are inside the company. And it is evident that with a traditional time punch clock, you can see also in this picture that the paper time cards of the employees are, let's say, hanging on the wall and can be visioned or also stolen by anybody. So we had recently some examples of lawsuits by some employees for damages due to the disclosure of their data, And in practice, these lawsuits resulted in successful law prosecution and punishment for the company who in practice let these data visible to other employees. Now, we would like to ask you if you have more or less the same legislation in your country. So think about it and make your evaluations and let us know. Because, of course, in Italy, for example, it's a very strong point regarding this device protecting the risk for the privacy for employees. So one of the strong points to propose this device in, let's say, to replace the traditional time clocks. Okay. We go on. So what is ETC? ETC is a time and attendance system for small companies. What it is possible to do? Of course, to record entry and exit time of the employees, allow the supervisors to enter and record absence time for illness, for accident, for holidays, for any special permissions. And also, it allows to justify any delayed entry or early exit when the employee punches in or out. We will see after some real-time shots that Rico will show to you. Oops. Hang on, because, okay. So, how the ETC is composed? As I said, ETC is a complete system, so hardware and software all in one device, no Ethernet connection, and it is in practice used to produce the data to be sent to the payroll service of a company. So there is no connection to a computer. Now I leave the word to Rico, who will give you more detailed explanations.
Yes, thank you, Roberta. So as you can see on this picture, the idea of not having a connection is that data has to be transferred in some ways to the payroll service, and that way is through a USB memory. Let's see. Okay, so from the hardware point of view, as already anticipated by Roberta, the terminal is a special version of the SuperTrax terminal. So it is a time clock with a color touch screen. It always features a double proximity RFID card reader, 125 card reader, so you can punch, in this case of this picture, to enter on the left and to exit on the right. The product is always sold with the power adapter already included and a wall mount bracket, and it is also supplied with the 25 plastic white user card proximity cards for employees, plus 2 administrator cards. The administrator cards has to be recorded at the beginning, right out of the box. You will be asked to enter the administrator name and to use one of the 2 cards to create the administrator card. I have a few pictures for those of you which are not familiar with the SuperTrax. Here we can see, let's say, an attempt to punch in for an exit transaction. So the card has to be placed on the left of the terminal. I will show you later real transactions. The The only active zones of the touch screen are the lens to review the time card of each employee, the book at the center to allow to enter special reason codes if it is not a normal entry or exit. Both these two active icons can be not present by configuration. So by configuration it is also possible to use this as a very, very basic time clock just to enter and exit. Here you can see this is the way that the terminal is delivered, and you can find the new mounting bracket that allows not to open the terminal in order to mount on the wall, and the power supply cord that is already inserted into the terminal. Here this side where you have the possibility to open in order to enter the USB key, and this is the mounting bracket already fixed on the wall, and you can imagine the way that the terminal can be inserted into the bracket and then with a screw on top fixed on the wall safely. In this picture we have an Ethernet cable. This is not the real configuration because Ethernet is not functioning in the ETC terminals. Yes, these are all the pictures. So from a functional point of view, software possibilities for the employees are very simple. They can just clock in and out by simply placing the card on the left or on the right corners, lower corners of the terminal. And if they touch the center icon for the reason codes, they get this kind of display with the choice of reason codes. We will see better later. And they can review all their punches. The administrator of the system instead has a little more to work in order to set up the system. This is the administrator panel with all the options available, and it appears whenever the administrator card is read at the basic screen. And this is, of course, the list of features. We will see better in particular, but of course they have to be able to enter all employee names and cards. They can set some working parameters, enter the list of reason codes managed by the system, and a very important feature is to adjust missing punch records, so enter reason codes for missing days like holidays or illness or other kind of whole days missing for the employees. And of course to export onto the USB pen drive all the transactions.